What is going on, you guys? Alex Chasen back here with a brand new video, and today I want to talk about one of the most surprising teams so far this NBA season, the Golden State Warriors. I was happy with the Warriors offseason this past summer, but I wasn't ecstatic about it. I completely agree with general manager Mike Dunleavy moving on from Klay Thompson, moving this team into a different direction with Steph Curry, letting CP3 go to San Antonio, whatever he wanted to do there. I completely agreed with moving into a new era of Golden State Warriors basketball, but keeping Curry, of course. I liked the moves they made this summer, getting some much-needed depth into this rotation. They didn't land that secondary star in Lauri Markkanen. There were some rumors on that. So besides adding some much-needed depth, there was no real splash that told me this team is going to compete with Stephen Curry for the next couple of years of his career. Nothing told me that. But boy, was I completely wrong. They are competing at a very high level. They are 7-2, the third seed in the Western Conference at the time I'm recording this video, and they are humming on offense and defense. They are playing great team basketball. That's really what it comes down to. The Warriors are playing team basketball to the fullest extent of the definition. The team basketball mentality is being displayed all over this team. You just look at the rotations they run in these games. Steve Kerr is going like 11, 12 guys deep. Like, he's going deep into this bench unit, showing his trust into pretty much everyone on this team. You look at the player stats so far this year, there is pretty much 12 or 13 guys who have played in all 9 games. All 9 of them. There's about 12, 13 guys who have played in all 9 games. You go down to, I'll just count right here with you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 13 guys who play over 13 minutes per game every single night. That's almost unheard of for a really good team to go that deep into the bench. Usually teams run like an 8 to 10 man rotation, good teams, and then it's more like the bad teams that go super deep because they're just down in games and kind of just throw different guys out there to try to get different, things flowing, maybe find a spark. But a good team that is going around 13 guys deep pretty much every single game so far this season, and it's showing success. That shows the Warriors have a good thing going, and the talent, or lack of talent, I should say, I thought they had over the summer wasn't necessarily true. And let's just talk about some of these guys who are playing a good amount of minutes and are producing. Buddy Hield has to be the first guy we talk about. Of course, Stephen Curry is Stephen Curry. He's having, an okay season. He's not scoring the most points, but he's being efficient. He's playing good ball. It's Stephen Curry. He's going to be the same no matter what. But Buddy Hield is playing some of the best basketball we have ever seen in his entire career. For the first week and a half, he was averaging around 21, 22 points per game. He's cooled that down a little bit to just 19 points per game, but that is still a ton of points. And let's just go through all of his games so far. 22 points, 27 points, 8 points, 28 points, 21 points, 27, 20, 16, and then their loss against the Cavaliers on Friday, he had 3 points, but he only played 19 minutes, not a ton of minutes for him so far this year, but he is shooting the ball from 3 insanely. He's shooting around 50% from 3 and around 50% from the field. I mean, come on now. They got rid of Klay Thompson and they brought someone in who is playing better than Klay Thompson. Will he keep this up? Probably not. That's unrealistic to expect him to keep shooting around 50% from 3. But he's showing that he can still score the three-point ball at an extremely high level. And I think what's really happening here is playing along someone like Stephen Curry, the best three-point shooter of all time, one of the best point guards of all time. It just opens up Buddy Hield's game, and it really opens up everyone else on the court's game as well, because the defense has to scheme and they have to really make sure they're guarding Curry, whatever they want to do, whether that's, double team or just whatever their defensive scheme is in that particular moment. But that, lack of awareness for everyone else, because they have to focus on Curry, allows guys like Buddy Hield to pop off and play some amazing basketball. I'm not taking anything away from Buddy Hield because he's shooting the shots and he's making the shots, but playing alongside someone like Stephen Curry, it definitely frees his game up much more compared to the other teams and players he's played with in his career. Just continuing to look at these players' stats, they have no one averaging over 20 points per game. It is such a well-rounded offensive attack. You have Curry at 19.7 points per game. You have Buddy Hield at 19.1. You have Andrew Wiggins at 15.1. You have Kuminga at 14, who started off really slow in the month of October, but so far in November, he's averaging around, 20 points per game. What is it exactly? He's averaging around 17 points per game, which is up compared to his 11 points per game in October. He's slowly growing and turning into that star he should be on this team. So that's good to see for the Warriors. Hopefully he keeps that up. He's my MIP candidate, so hopefully he keeps that up. But then Moses Moody, 10 points per game. Podziemski, 10 points per game. Draymond Green, 8 points per game with 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Draymond Green is playing like Draymond Green. He is playing like the guy we know he should be. And so far, hasn't had any on-court issues. Hopefully that continues because they need him to be successful like this. They need Draymond Green if they want to reach anything come playoff time or in the regular season, so that's good to see. Trayce Jackson-Davis, their starting center, 8 points, around 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, playing some great ball as well for the second-year guy. Kevon Looney, 6 points, 8 rebounds. They are just killing it all over the court, and it just stems from their well-rounded offensive attack. And now let's just dive into some stats here. They average the 4th most points per game in the league at 120 points per game. Like I just mentioned, they do not have a single player averaging more than 20 points per game. They don't have that true, bona fide, I'm going to give you 30 points. Curry could do it, of course, but he's just not doing it so far this year. He's kind of, taking a little bit of a step back and playing more of a, team ball game. And of course, with Stephen Curry, if he wants to, he could drop 40. He just hasn't needed to do that. It's a well-rounded team so far this year, and he's just kind of being compatible with that style of play. But they're still averaging the 4th most points in the league at 120 a night. That's dangerous. If you have no one averaging more than 20 points a night and you're still averaging the 4th most points in the league, that's dangerous because then let's just say Curry does start to creep it up to 25, 30, and everyone else kind of stays similar. They're going to keep climbing. Continuing, what would be the Golden State Warriors without the three-point shot? They are attempting the 5th most threes in the entire league at 41.1 per game. And are they shooting them well? Because that's really all that matters. They shoot it the 6th best in the entire association at 38% a night. They are shooting the ball amazing. I mean, especially when you have Buddy Hield shooting 50% from 3, that's going to inflate this a little bit. But still, everyone overall is shooting the ball pretty darn good. Continuing, something that I've really noticed from watching Golden State Warriors basketball so far this season. Of course, they're putting points on the board. Their focus is at an all-time high level in this new era of Golden State Warriors basketball. But the offensive rebounding, the focus on getting second chance opportunities, that's going to make or break some games. That's going to make or break some seasons as well. And the second chance hustle plays the Golden State Warriors are creating are awesome. They average the 2nd most offensive rebounds in the entire NBA at around 14 a night. You have guys like Kevon Looney. You have guys like Draymond Green who are hustling for those opportunities. Good things are going to happen in these games, and we see it so far this year. One thing that doesn't get talked about enough when you look at the history of Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors and all the teams he's been a part of over his long career so far is the defensive focus on those championship teams are some of the best in the NBA, and we see it again this year. They allow the 6th least points per game to opponents at 108 points per game a night. For a comparison, because that's obviously a great number, but the Washington Wizards are the 30th team in the NBA for opponent points per game. Dead last, they allow 124 points per game to opponents. That's around a 16-point per game difference between the Golden State Warriors and the Washington Wizards. The Warriors are completely buying into, of course, the offensive end. That's going to happen when you have Stephen Curry, but the defensive end as well. They are playing great basketball all around the court. I feel like I've said that multiple times today, but it's just so true. And continuing with the defensive end of the ball, they cause the 3rd most turnovers in the entire NBA at around 17 a night. Those are opportunities where they're getting the ball back in transition and making something happen on offense. I don't hate it because I appreciate the NBA. I appreciate basketball. But as someone who has been affected by the Golden State Warriors' reign in the NBA as a Celtics fan when we lost in 2022, It's like, come on, I thought it was over. I thought the Stephen Curry Warriors reign was over. And I'm not saying this is a championship team. I don't necessarily think it is a championship team. But to be 7-2 and playing some of the best offensive basketball in the NBA, buying into the defensive end to the fullest extent, being one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, they are preparing themselves for a very good regular season that when you have Stephen Curry, you have Draymond Green, you have these two guys who are four-time champs on one of the best teams all time in NBA history, anything's possible. Anything is possible, especially if you get the guys around them to buy in, that being Buddy Hield. Jonathan Kuminga continues to grow this year. Same thing for Moses Moody, Podziemski, Trace Jackson-Davis, DeAnthony Melton, Kyle Anderson, Gary Payton, Lindy Waters. You continuously have these guys buying into Curry, having them buy into Steve Kerr and Draymond Green. Sad to say for the NBA, but the sky is the limit if you have all of their buy-in. And so far, that's exactly what is happening. But anyways, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. I had to talk about the Golden State Warriors. They are playing too good a basketball to not talk about it. I wanted to wait a little bit. I can't wait anymore, man. They had to be discussed. Anyways, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you think the Warriors, this hot start is kind of like a fluke? They'll cool down and kind of come back down to earth and be more of a play-in team after these 82 games are all said and done? Or they're going to keep this up and be one of the best teams in the Western Conference, and maybe, just maybe, continue their hot success come playoff time. We'll see. I know it's early. I don't want to project, but yeah, the Warriors are hot right now. Let's see how it goes. I'll see you guys very soon, and like always, peace out.